we did not have quorum at the time the business of the House had commenced.
A quorum is 1/3 of all members of Parliament, excluding the person.
We, the minority in this House, are very prepared, ready, and willing to help them conduct government business.
Why don't we have up to 92 members in Parliament? Where are they? Out of the 276, we have 189 majority in Parliament. And we have about 87 of minority and about 3 independent. Where are all these members of Parliament?
And so even if the 16 ministers President Mahama has are all members of Parliament, and all of them even are unable to attend to Parliament, you have enough numbers, sufficient numbers to form quorum, to have quorum to conduct business, to have quorum to take decisions, and to ensure that the work of the legislature moves on smoothly, which will then ensure that the business of government is conducted efficiently for the good of the Ghanaian people.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, wherever you are, they are not coming to work. They are not coming to Parliament to do what they are supposed to do for us to have a better Ghana. Not even 90. Where are they? Ministers of state shall be appointed by the President with the prior approval of Parliament from among members of Parliament or persons qualified to be elected as members of Parliament. So that means, Afenyomaki used the word, let's say you are mighty minority. Yes. Minority members of Parliament invoke Article 102 of the Constitution to demand adjournment of sitting due to lack of the mandatory 1/3, which is 92 out of 276 quorum, to commence business, because the minimum number of members that is expected to be in Parliament were not present.
You know, Parliament is a very important organ of government, of state, and the business of Parliament is to be taken very seriously. Yesterday, the Speaker had cause to point out the disturbing trend or situation of absenteeism in Parliament when the business of Parliament is being conducted. Today, we came to Parliament, and on account, there were only 81 members of Parliament in the chamber, and therefore, the Deputy Minority Chief Whip raised the issue of quorum pursuant to Article 102 of our national constitution. And indeed, the Deputy Chief Whip made the point that we did not have quorum at the time the business of the House had commenced. The Speaker went through the process, and we've called this press conference to point out that the Ghanaian people went through a lot to elect us as members of Parliament. So generally speaking, all of us are expected to take our duties as members of Parliament seriously. And secondly, and in particular, for the first time in the Fourth Republican dispensation, in the wisdom of the Ghanaian people, they elected a supermajority for this 9th Parliament. The NDC majority, the NDC group in this House, constitutes 189 out of the 276 members of Parliament. That is a supermajority, and that is 2/3 of all the members of Parliament, all the 276 members of Parliament. This is unprecedented. It's never happened before in the Fourth Republican dispensation. Indeed, it's never even happened in the whole history of our country. And one will expect that out of this 189 of them, even if 99 of them were to stay at home, they will still have the 90 members of Parliament required to form a quorum to do business. And indeed, as I pointed out on the floor of Parliament, they have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to do business. They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to take decisions. They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to even take fundamental decisions, which requires 2/3 of all members of Parliament. And as one of them once said, they can run this 9th Parliament without the minority. And therefore, the question that many Ghanaians are asking, why are they not attending to the House?
And in the Article 102 of the 1992 Constitution, it states that a quorum is 1/3 of all members of Parliament, excluding the person presiding, which is the Speaker. And so the minority is asking that since they do not have up to that 1/3 in Parliament, they suspend whichever meeting they have in Parliament earlier today.
Why are they not taking their business as members of Parliament seriously? And why are they not showing up? And why is this majority turning out to be an absentee majority? And this is why we think we should communicate to the Ghanaian people who elected these 189 members of Parliament, who gave them the super majority and 2/3, to know that we, the minority in this House, are very prepared, ready, and willing to help them conduct government business. But it will appear that they are not cooperating with the minority to get President Mohammed's business and government business to go through. And when that happens, it's the Ghanaian people who suffer. Today, on the order paper, we have a litany of important bills and important items which are required to be considered and taken by the House to get government business to move forward. And yet, we have had to wait to grapple with the issue of quorum.
And I asked the question, why are they not in Parliament? We have about 276. And the Constitution is even saying that at least 1/3, a minimum of 92, 1/3 of the 276 is 92. At least we should have 92 members in Parliament to commence business. Why don't we have up to 92 members in Parliament? Where are they? Out of the 276, we have 189 majority in Parliament. And we have about 87 of minority and about 3 independent. Where are all these members of Parliament? Today, the minority held a press conference to address the people of Ghana, to let them know the people they have voted in power.
I want to conclude by making one other point. One will say that some of them are ministers. There's foreign ministers, there's that, and they travel and all of that. But the point is, you have this big majority. And so even if the 60 ministers President Mahama has are all members of Parliament, and all of them even are unable to attend to Parliament, you have enough numbers, sufficient numbers to form quorum, to have quorum to conduct business, to have quorum to take decisions, and to ensure that the work of the legislature moves on smoothly, which will then ensure that the business of government is conducted efficiently for the good of the Ghanaian people.
To tell them that the people they have voted for are not ready to come to Parliament to commence business. And so they have held a press conference. According to him, this is something that has been going on, to speak about the disturbing trend of absenteeism. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, wherever you are, they are not coming to work. They are not coming to Parliament to do what they are supposed to do for us to have a better Ghana. Meanwhile, when it's time for election, we see these people from house to house, door to door. Some of them are washing, some of them are cooking, some of them are pounding fufu, just for Ghanaians to vote for them. And after they have been voted in power, look, they're not in Parliament. According to the minority, we had just 81 members of Parliament present. And this is so shameful. We couldn't even get 92, not even 90. Where are they? From his speech, he stated that he would agree that out of the 189 members that are majority, super majority, which is unprecedented, ABC Prada, first in the history of the of Ghana's election, that we have about 189 majority in Parliament, and we did not even have 92 of them being present. And so he agreed that some of them are ministers, and so they have traveled, some of them are on national assignments and all that. But are they all ministers? 189, are they all ministers? And this is where I ask a question, that is it necessary that we have members of parliament being ministers as well? Because per my checks, I checked and I wanted to know whether it is very necessary that members of parliament become ministers if they are the ones who are supposed to be ministers for whichever department we have in Ghana. And when I checked, it says that the president must appoint the majority of ministers from among members of parliament. And then also it says that ministers of state shall be appointed by the president with the prior approval of parliament from among members of parliament or persons qualified to be elected as members of parliament. So that means it doesn't necessarily have to be that they are members of parliament before they qualify to be ministers. But then again, looking at it, it is going to be expensive getting different people being ministers and getting different people being members of parliament. But anyways, but all the same, you know it is your job. We have deputy ministers, and so if you're on a national assignment, you let your deputy go and then you stay in parliament. Because this is very shameful for us to have just 81 present and not 92 for us to proceed with, the meeting in parliament. It is so shameful. And you see, according to the one who spoke during the press conference, he said that they, the minority, are very ready, are very prepared and willing to support them to conduct government business. Now, when I look at the minority, they're about 87. And so let's take it that all these majority members of parliament are ministers. Let's take it that all the 189 are ministers. I'm not sure all of them are on national assignment. Definitely we'll have about 10 of them being present. And so if that's 87, you people don't have any national assignment. And so if you are in parliament and you had 10 of the majority joining you, you would have like 97, which is more than even the 1/3 we are looking for. So where are the rest? Minority, you people too, where are the rest? I like the fact that you stated it clearly that you people are prepared and willing to support, and that is a good thing. Me, I've always championed the cause that this time we are not in for party A and or party B. Now elections are over. It's about Ghana. Whichever party that Ghana went to the polls to vote for, they have voted for them. And so yours is to support. If it is a good cause, you support it. If it is not, let Ghanaians know, just as you have done today, by letting us know that the members of parliament that Ghanaians went to queue to vote for, they are not in parliament to do what they are expected to do. And this is so sad. It's so sad and so embarrassing. Charlie, I agree with him when he says that the business in parliament is to be taken very, very, very serious. We don't have to joke with it. We don't have to joke with this. Why are you not in parliament? That is the question. Where are you? Especially the minority now, and you are even holding a press conference to question the majority that says that they can even do it without you because they have the majority in parliament. You stated it clearly that you are, you used the word. Afenyomaki used the word. I'll say you are mighty minority. Yes. You can use that minority to do something. Like he stated, you're a mighty minority. So why shouldn't you be in parliament? 87. Why almost in fact? Hey. Anyways, His Excellency John Jomani Mama, we don't want some power. They are not there to do their job. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to end with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think? Parliament, members of parliament that we have voted for are not in parliament to commence business. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And as always, the name still remains Naa here on Naa Lartey TV. And I'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.